Efe and Zurab left arm.
And it just, okay. Yeah, so to me, one of the interesting things about Zurab is his endurance. I have no doubt that Zurab's endurance is monstrous after what he did with Ron Barth. So I haven't seen Efe in a drawn-out match. I just saw him look dominant. So I don't know. So I'm a fan of Zurab because of what I saw him do with Ron Barth. So I'm on Team Zurab. If I'm on any team, I'm on Team Zurab. And given he's the smaller of the two competitors too, it'll be good to see him win. It's always nice to see the small guy win. Not that he's small; his biceps are enormous. But hard one for me to call. I'm just going to go with my heart of Zurab.
So you are saying that you don't have much information to predict, but you are saying that you are cheering for him. Yeah, I understand. Yep. And what do you think about? Are you also one of those guys that believes Prudnik will beat Matt?
I am. You have to be, don't you? I mean, I'm a big believer in Matt Mask. I see Matt Mask as one of the guys that has a set of tools that could potentially trouble a lot of the best guys, but not Prudnik. The size and shape of Prudnik these days is too big. He's too versatile. He's got too many wonderful options from center. He can be defensive if he needs to be. If Prudnik bends his wrist in any way, it's over. Matt Mask won't win if Prudnik can bend his wrist in any way, be it top roll hook.
Isn't Matt is someone that is known with enabling his opponent to risk her?
Yeah, I mean Matt's. I mean, if you look at Matt's track record against Devon has struggled to keep hand control against Matt.
Sometimes John even had it. John even lost some rounds against Matt.
Yeah, that's true.
And he beat Barboza. He top rolled Hutchings as well. You know, yeah.
And that's what I mean. So he
Hermes,
top rolled Hermes, didn't he? So he has the weapon if he can land it. But his form against Tim Bresnan didn't look like the form required to beat Prudnik. That's the concerning thing for me. If Matt was in red hot form, there's a chance. But
do you think Matt is gonna come here with the same form that he was against him?
No, he'll be more fired up. It'll mean more to him this match.
He will be bigger, stronger, probably.
Yeah, he'll be bigger. He'll be stronger. He'll be definitely more amped up, and as a result of that, he'll put in a good performance. But I'm not saying it's a whitewash, but I'm saying it's highly likely Prudnik wins.
I understand. And his left arm match against Morozov is even less chance, more chance.
About the same amount of chance, I think. I think Matt's a dominant right arm puller. I don't think his left is as good. So no, I think Morozov. He'll bury that shoulder forward. Yeah. Do you see it any different, or?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know, because I have seen him top rolling Devon. Even I mean, in the competition, I saw him top rolling and even pinning him, I think. And I also see, like, now we see the biggest, strongest version of Devon. And then whenever I see them training, and whenever I see their fresh match with left arm, I mean, looks like he's controlling Devon. He's just taking, and he's just not even pinning. Maybe Devon's left is not as good as his right, but even with right arm, the fresh match, he's just still moves him to some point, And then we're talking about Devon that is planning to beat Levan. Yeah, I'm talking about the fresh matches and what they show. So this is how I am judging,
I think the one thing that Matt Mask does possess is, because of his explosivity and his particular all-in style, if Prudnik grips him the wrong way, if Matt Mask has control of the high ground, then Prudnik's going to potentially lose that opening round. But Matt Mask is someone that is very buckle side dependent as well. So if Matt has, or if Prudnik has the buckle, and Matt wins the height in the setup, then Matt's going to win that round.
How do you see that going? Do you think Prudnik is going in or out, or where do you
I think Prudnik's going to stay high. I think he's going to stay high and try to protect his hand, like Hermes did. But I think that Prudnik has the opportunity to take a really low grip as well, like a really low grip and force a hook, like he did on Lilletten in the preliminary rounds a couple of years ago. He got one round against Lilletten. He gripped it very low.
Lilletten really pulled there.
Yeah, probably not. You're right. He probably did just let that one go. But I do think that Prudnik has that option to choose to grip super low, and just negate the pronator of Matt Marks, because I think he could afford to grip him low, and I think his containment and side pressure and his defensive hook capabilities would be good enough to prevent Matt pinning and ultimately turn him in. I don't think Matt has a press to come forward. No, he not an effective press. He's got a frantic sort of press, but he hasn't got a sustained press to close down Prudnik. So, yeah.
I think they will be very intense match. Just imagine, Matt at the table. He's trying to give some hard time to the referees. Imagine him winning the round, first round.
Yeah.
And the hit in the table.
Yeah, it'll go. Yeah, the hit on the table is as good as it gets, isn't it? Matt will bring the fire, and that's actually something I've never seen Prudnik. I've never seen Prudnik fire up like that. Maybe I've just missed it, but yeah.
No, always he controls himself. He has full control during the match, before the match, after the match. He controls himself. Yeah. He's like a chess player. He's like,
So how will Prudnik react if Matt Mask wins the first round and slams the table and is going crazy?
I think he what can he do? He lost. I mean, as long as there is no disrespect. But if he wins the match, then I think he can look at his race. So I'm just curious about how the press conference will be. Do you remember the Prudnik, his reaction to Morozov? You are not at my level.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
let's see if he's gonna provocate.
I know that Matt Mask has said to me before, when he's getting ready for a match, he, in his mind, envisages his opponent throwing rocks at his dog and kicking his and pushing his children over. So Matt Mask puts himself into a mental state where he hates his opponent. For that match, he says, I tap into hatred. That's his emotion that he goes for. So if Prudnik at the press conference makes comments like that, like you're just not on my level, that's giving fuel to Matt. That'll help Matt to do what Matt does. So I think the best thing Prudnik could do would be to show and heap respect on Matt, just to say, Matt's an amazing arm wrestler. I'm really worried about him, and be really nice to him, because Matt would struggle to fire up.
That wouldn't. I mean, I'm not sure if Prudnik would care about such thing to be that political, because I never expected him to be that provocative, versus Morozov.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just I don't know. Maybe he will even provocate more. Maybe he will just say something like, even like, you are not good enough. Bring your, brother.
Bring your Canadian buddy. Well, yeah, maybe Prudnik's learning from Hermes, because Hermes has the last 12 months. Hermes has not stopped talking, and he's generated a great amount of hype because of it. So Prudnik's in a position where he could do the same.
Hermes is not playing, he's just himself, he's just saying whatever he believes, and he doesn't give a shit that if people react him in like a lot of fans, or trolls, attack him or something. He just never holds back, whatever he thinks, and I think that's good. That's good,
I'm
not saying that everyone should be like him, but he just, I don't think he is trying to hype anything. He really believes that himself that, he's gonna be absolute best one day.
Mm.
Not if it can be or not. I mean, if there was no Levan, then maybe it could be, but I don't know. It will be very hard for him to. Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
might
mean,
need Levan to retire.
Hermes may beat Devon. I'm not saying he will, and
It's a
Devon
match. It's a match.
Devon may beat Levan, but Hermes will never beat Levan, in my opinion, because I don't think you can beat Levan in an orthodox way of arm wrestling.
Mm.
We think that Devon has chance because of that all that tricks
Yeah.
or the go playing mind games and then this and that. These are not something that
Hermes
Hermes
can't
can.
do that. Yeah.
If Devon would say that I'm gonna go hold Devon's hand and try to pin him like this,
Yeah, he's not
and
going to win.
then I would just say that you're dreaming. But whatever he's planning to do, I know it. You know it
Mm.
too. So that's why we think that there's even small but possibility. That's why
Yeah,
whenever I ask
exactly.
to Levan, like, are you gonna beat him? And then Levan asks me, you know, like, you think there is any other like possibility? So I mean, Levan was very confident as well. The only thing I don't know. Whatever. Let's focus here again. What do you think? Um, what do you think about? Do you know Samusha at all?
No, to be honest, no, I don't. That's Paul Lynn's opponent, yes?
Yes, David Samusha used to. I mean, he has won, I think, two 75 kilo WAPs, and then he
Okay.
moved up to 80 kilo, and he won over Bojidar. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and yeah, same year European Championship, Bojidar won, and
Mm.
I think Samusha was fifth or something. Um, anyway, so this guy also won the 78 kilos Zloty Tour in 2018, and in
Mm-hmm.
the overalls, I think he took third place, and he gave very very hard match as far as I remember to Sandris in a hook, long match.
Okay. Okay. I think
You
I
know,
remember then. I think because I remember the performance from the Zloty of a lighter guy doing exceptionally well in the
yes,
overall.
there was, yeah,
Okay.
Samusha. There was 78 kilo Samusha. Now the Samusha is around 90 or even a little bit more. He will be when he comes here, so he will
Okay.
be,
Okay.
yeah. And then we know that Pauline is very strong. He
Mm.
caused some problems inside to John, and
Mm.
he beat Ron. I don't think the Ron was the same Ron that from a month ago,
Mm.
5 weeks ago. But still, once he hooked him, he kind of like was
Yeah.
dominant. Yeah, yeah. So
Well,
what's your?
that's a great match. Paul, I know well. I've gripped Paul in years gone past. He's got a great amount of back pressure. He's got good outside threat at setup, which really protects him from the flash pin. So I think all that he loves to get on. He loves to really set up high. If Samushit is trying to turn Paul in, there's the risk that Samushit ends up really low on Paul, and then Paul comes into the hook after Samushit has initiated, and then Paul's got more rotation. But Samushit may just pull straight through him. If he does successfully come crashing down, Paul may, like I just experienced on the weekend, Paul may be too late to get into the hook. So it's an interesting. I think Samushit's going to be faster than Paul from my memory of this guy. Paul in the straps in the hook, great amount of strength. I mean, American style hooking, they like the load, they like the tension in the arm before the go. And if the match stops and they're in position, I think I'd back Paul to get the job done, given what I saw against Ron in the hook. And as you say, against John, he made John have to work pretty hard. But
Even injured him. His tornado a
yeah,
little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
So
but
for me, this.
they were my guests about like 5 days ago, six, whatever. And then they agreed to start first round in hook.
Oh, really? Okay. So if they're starting in a hook, outside of straps, I'm taking Samushit to win that one.
You
I
think?
feel like for Paul to win outside of straps, in a hook, I think Paul needs to have the high ground a bit. But if they're starting even, I think Samushit will get it.
Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, that's only one round, and Paul may still change his mind.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If it, but
would you blame him? He says that okay, I changed my mind, and then we start straight.
no, not at all. I mean, after round one, if he loses the first round, then I wouldn't expect him to do it again. Yeah.
What I'm
Um,
just saying, he says that even round one, I want to start straight. I changed my mind. Would you blame him?
I wouldn't blame him, but I'd be surprised. Paul's a man of his word, so if he said he'll start in a hook, I think he'll start in a hook. But like I said, I think he's perhaps doing that because he's worried about the speed of Samushit off the go. Because like I said, one of Paul's biggest weapons is his back pressure in the setup. So he's forfeiting that by just voluntarily starting in a hook to some degree. So I don't know. I don't think he'll change his mind, but I think that depending on how that first round goes, yeah.
You are saying that he better start, as he said, in round one. But after that, if it doesn't work, then I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't want to continue that
Yeah,
way.
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So what do we have more? What do we have more? We have
We've missed who we
Marcio Barboza versus
Tobias.
Tobias. Yep.
Yeah. I'm
Tobias.
excited to.
Do you know Tobias?
Yeah. I watched him at the 2019 Zloty Tour. He was huge. And who did he almost beat? The Russian gentleman. What's his name?
Slav?
Salayev. Yes, Salayev. The first time when he took on Salayev in the overall, outside of straps, he totally controlled Salayev's wrist, busted his wrist back, and Salayev was very fortunate to get a slip without being awarded the win to Tobias. So I got a lot of time for him. He's a massive human, one of those big up and coming potentials. Young guy still so much upside. He lost to Kadecha convincingly, but Kadecha seemed to be in an amazing amount of form.
That he felt him as strong as he felt Hermes. Yeah.
So if that's the assumption, then you have to say he's going to be right there in the match.
One more thing I will add. Do you realize that Morozov is mainly a top roller?
Mm-hmm.
And do you realize that he tried to top roll and then had very bad position against Tobias, and then he had to hold low with a spinated grip. He was a little bit even too spinated. He needed to be square, in my opinion. And he started like this, so he couldn't match Tobias' hands. So do you think that Marcia may have problems if he tries to top roll Tobias?
Yeah, he will. He will. The one thing that Marcia has up his sleeve is perhaps explosivity. Marcia will trust his wrist a lot, and he'll happily lean on the defensive half with that posting top roll and chip away at the wrist. And I suspect that I feel like Marcia is going to have more endurance in the wrist as well. I think Tobias may have more power off the go, but I feel like Marcio's integrity in his wrist will hold out longer. And if Marcio can get a defensive stop using a posting top roll, kind of like we've seen John do a few times in recent matches against Chance, even that a defensive posting top roll. I can see Marcio protecting his wrist that way, and then as soon as the fatigue starts coming into Tobias, then Marcio goes on the attack. So this is a good one because it's the old guard and new guard. Marcio's been around forever at such a high level, and it's been a while since we've seen him compete at this level. So I suspect he's going to bring out amazing form. When I met Marcio a couple of years ago for the first time, I was stunned at how good his form was. Like his physical shape was amazing. And every time he's had matches in the USA in the last couple of years, albeit they haven't been marquee big matches, he's crushed everyone. Everyone that he's faced, he's been very dominant over, like the Wayne Withers sort of level. So I think Marcia is.
I think he will come here in a very, very, very good shape. I think he will be
I agree.
big and very strong. But I realized that Tobias is also a big guy. Like talking about near 2 meters. He says he's 193, but trust me, he's taller than that. You know.
He is for
Morozov
sure.
is very tall. Morozov is very tall. Morozov is 195, and then Tobias is about that much taller than Morozov, but he says he's 193. So I don't know. He's a huge guy, you know. And you know, you saw Tobias in 2019. You're still talking about a guy like 20, 21, around there.
Yeah, so he's grown so much.
Yeah. Now we're talking about 3 years. 3 years. While, you know, for me, my pick was like I said, okay, it was about like 24 or something when I was just like, of course I get stronger, but I'm just saying that like I didn't feel like a young guy anymore. I felt like really grown around 23, 24. I felt so. I think that now his bones are as hard as possible. His his hand strength. I don't know if you saw him with the squeezing thing that they are.
Yeah, he's killing everyone, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think he's close to Laletin about that hand strength. And I mean, let's see. I all I want is as an organizer, very close matches.
A good match, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not interested about who's winning. I'm interested the one who is better to win, but I am more interested for a close matchups. I mean, trust me, making close matchups, I can make many close matchups evenly. But it is getting harder when you go to the very elite level and then pairing them. You understand? Because it's that easy, at the elite level, because of the styles don't always match each other. And maybe there are some guys whose style would make a war with anyone, but there are some guys that whose style will be either he will win
or lose,
or something. So that is the nature of it. Yeah.
My gut feel on this match is that it will be a good match. I think Marcia will win it 3-2, and I think that Tobias will take the first round. I think Marcia, it'll go back and forth, and Marcia will end up getting the edge just through just experience and I think a bit more endurance and integrity in the wrist. But I think this will be one of the matches of the night.
Okay. So we go to the next match. This is an interesting one as well. Ryan Bowen and Engin Terzi. No,
I can't wait. Engin.
Yeah, how many months we have? 4 months. No.
4 months. 4 months. How's your body weight looking?
3 months.
Coming up close. Yeah, we're in May now, so
3 months. Early May.
June, July, August. 3 months.
Yeah, months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about? You don't know about Saip. Saip is a Turkish guy, has been placed 4th in the world in the past. His hand is very strong, very good top roller. After pulls, he wasn't trained at all in the last East versus West 2. At the side table, he hold with Prudnik, and then he top rolled Prudnik, and then the second start Prudnik did a quick move. So that is Saip that is gonna pull.
Marcia.
Yeah, with left arm. So I'm sure that you may not have an opinion about it so much. You don't know the other guy at all.
I don't know him.
Yeah, but you know Marcio, so you probably will think that Marcio will win because of the experience and everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those ones where whenever you see a new name, and I mean, when I say a new name, it's a new name to me. I don't know how long has Saip been pulling for?
Minimum 15 years, minimum.
Okay, so he's an old hand at it anyway. So it's not really old guard, new guard, is it? what's his highest achievement?
Fourth in WAF.
Okay, so he's only like one rung, maybe 1.5 rungs below Marcia for achievement. Marcia is just a little bit hot.
It's Marcia has been world champion, has wins against John, Travis, even maybe Devon, Rambat, Hutchings, Michael Todd. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's a legend for sure, And if you look at the career, it's huge difference. But some guys have potential. Listen, have potential, but never had chance and never invested so much. And then whenever they have a chance, like if Revas, for example. I mean, if I had the chance to train with Revas and train him for 1 year, and then let's see, you understand? In my opinion.
Yeah.
So some people have genetically gifted. Maybe they didn't really care as much as the other people. Saib is one of them. Just put Saib's arms and hand to me, give me, and then just bring me. Anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I said the same thing about Larry Wheels. I just met Larry Wheels on the weekend. I was like, can I implant my brain into you, Larry? I'd love to see what you could do, because his bicep. Just to quickly plug Larry's bicep is the strongest bicep I've felt in arm wrestling so far. Out of everyone I've gripped, his raw bicep strength was like, his rotation was terrible. His wrist rise was terrible. Still a long way to go. But he had okay wrist flexion, but his bicep, whoa, wow, it's a strong bicep.
Yeah, it's expected, yeah. So if we go to another one, Krasimir Kostadinov, Arif Ertem.
Yeah, Krasimir Kostadinov. I mean, Krasimir just got utterly crushed by Corey West. Based on the form, I have to go Arif. I mean, Arif is similar to what Corey could do. I can see Arif doing something similar based on what I've just seen. I mean, Arif is a strong puller, really strong puller. So, and he's got a shape. I think that based on the form that I just saw from Kostadinov against Corey West, that I feel like Arif may just do a very similar thing. I think Krasimir could be in trouble in this one. I don't know. I heavily lean towards Arif.
In fact, they have pulled 3 times, and all 3 matches ended like same as Corey and Crasy in the past. Arif has met, but let's say, this time may be different. First 2 times when they met, Krasimir was tired. He beat Levan, 2016 Europeans. And then Levan and Arif beat Gennady, but easy. Arif won, but Krasimir was tired. So then Arif beat Krasimir, and then Krasimir beat Gennady after a war, again in the final Crasy. But then, same year, they met at the World Championships. This time, they were fresh, both Krasimir and Arif, and the match again ended the same way.
Okay, well, if that I wasn't aware that even met before, so that
it was 6 years.
That worries me. That worries me even more than for Crasy. Yeah, it's hard to see it any other way, isn't it? I mean, based on Crasy's match against Corey, it wouldn't surprise me if he tried to slip and get to the straps to just try to get some more traction, because I feel like he is. There's a better chance he gets a stop and can get into the match in the straps. But if Arif just crowds forward and trusts his hand, then it's going to be a bad day.
I understand. And this is one of the most interesting matches: Iraqi versus Hut.
Oh yeah, that is. I think that's, for me, just looking over the card again. I think that one for me is the most interesting. For me personally, I don't know which one your favorite is. Chafee Gennady is pretty interesting, but this one to me is super interesting. And I say that because these 2 gentlemen plus John Brzenk in my opinion, are all fighting for the #1 rank in the world at that weight, at that sort of
One more, Prudnik, there is also under 110 kilo.
Okay.
Prudnik now 107 kilo.
Okay then. All right. I'll put Prudnik in there as well then. Okay, I thought Prudnik was bigger.
Before you start, now when you add the Prudnik as well, who do you think that is #1 there, in your opinion?
Let me think.
In my opinion, it looks like Prudnik, but I don't know.
It's probably Prudnik. He has yeah. Look, Hutchings has been in a state of form recently. He looks like he's leveled up. He looks like he's at the best he's ever been at.
Mm-hmm.
He's fearless and he's just crushing people. What he did to Jordan Sonev, very impressive.
Oh, come on. He went to deep hook with him, you know. I don't think that if anyone goes inside with him like that can beat him, especially in the match that stopped there. Rustam beats him usually there, but you know, until Todd just even locks himself, Rustam already finishes the matches. I'm not sure if they both start in a deep hook, and then let's start. Do you think that Rustam can beat him, or do you think it's harder?
No. I don't think Rustam could win if they started deep like that. But yeah, I think. Look, I don't know who to pick as #1 out of that. I suspect that give it another 6 months, it'll be John. It'll be #1. I think that's going to happen.
In August, I already said Prudnik versus Hutchings.
Yeah.
And Iraqi versus John.
Yeah. So we're going to
ask you a question before you start your prediction about Iraqi versus Todd. Do you think, you know, I wasn't going to organize East versus West 3 in May because of the war, because of this and that, you know. So I already started to set East versus West 3 for August. So that is why I made Iraqi versus John and Hutchings versus Prudnik there. So what I'm just trying to say that these matches were set before I said May event. Do you think that I should reconsider August super matches after the results of the East versus West 3? Because like just imagine that, you know, like if Iraqi loses versus Hutchings, or if Hutchings loses versus Iraqi, you know, the matches would still be the same for August, or do you think that the pairs like should be reconsidered?
Well, they are the 4 names, aren't they, at the end of the day? So I think it's good for Hutchings to pull both of those guys that he's scheduled for. Win or lose in this East vs West 3. If Iraqi wins, I still want to see Hutchings beat Prudnik. That to me is still very interesting. And that helps us determine.
But if loses, should he still pull John?
That one I can.
I'm going for a title at the end, you know, most likely in August, or if not the August, then the next event is November, if it's still organized. Then I'm trying to do some belt, not the world belt, but the like East versus West International Organization belt. So
if Iraqi loses to Todd, I do agree with you that there is a sense of, well, he's not ready for John, if that's the case. I can get that. I get that.
Not ready, or is it because he lost while John kept winning? You know, first he beat Haji Murad at the East versus West, and the East versus West, if he beats Zurab, then someone who is continue winning to bring someone who lost against him, like what I'm just saying that we didn't give the title yet. So what I was thinking, you know, athletes should be qualified more and more, and then at the end we need to do a title. Like for example, if Todd beats Iraqi, then Todd versus Prudnik for 110 kilo and under title, that would be good. You understand? And then no, what I'm just saying that if John and Iraqi pulls, and then if because of the style, Iraqi beats John, then say that if Todd beats Prudnik, or even if Prudnik beats Todd in the November, would Iraqi pull who lost against Todd?
Yeah, who's in the final?
As a title match, or maybe I should do do you think that in August there should be any title match? Like, for example, Hutchings versus Prudnik. Should that be title, or do you think that
No,
John should go for the title match, or John should pull the winner of them in November for the title?
Yeah, that's more appropriate. I think John pulling the winner of Prudnik and Todd is
Why
more
not?
appropriate.
Why not giving the title to winner of if Todd beats Iraqi? And why not giving a title to winner of that match, and then John can be pulling against someone who has the title? I mean,
well,
what?
One thing's for sure about John is he won't be afraid to pull Iraqi at the risk of that, even though he's risking not being in the final or whatever. John seems to be fearless with gripping everyone, so I think that John would happily pull Iraqi, and if it goes the way we expected, John would win, and then just take on the winner of Todd and Prudnik, and then you've got your final perfectly set. If Iraqi does somehow upset the apple cart and beat John, then I don't know what you do about the final. I don't know what you do.
Do you think that if Todd Hutchings loses Iraqi, just think from different ways.
Okay.
Do you think that Todd still would pull Prudnik?
Yes, I still want to see it. I still want to see that. I still want to see that regardless.
What do we want from East versus West? Do we want to see like the matchups that we are curious, or do we want to see that the matches that are serving to a purpose of who is the best? So
I think we need a combination of both, and you're in the early stages at the moment, so you haven't got that belt holder established, so you got to find your way to it. And at the end of I think the arm wrestling fans will be forgiving. Whatever happens, and it's not always linear, as you said. A beats B and B beats C, C beats A sometimes. So I don't think you need to worry about rescheduling. I think let the matches happen as they are, and then if
Iraqi wins against Tatachin, do you think that Iraqi is a proper title match for the August? Yeah.
I don't think it's a title match then. I think.
Why not?
I think it's because Prudnik's then left on the out.
I understand, but why not Prudnik to pull the title holder later? Why the first match needs Prudnik? Because Prudnik now is pulling 2 matches already. One was against Morozov, which is super weight class, over 100. And now he's going to pull Matt Mask. Matt Mask could be 112 kilo or something, but he's gaining weight for this event. So I'm guessing that he will be 115, 116 kilo. So we cannot consider that under 110. So 2 of the matches that Prudnik had till now are the matches.
Different weight category, yeah.
Yeah, over heavyweight class. So he never had a match under 110 kilo. So he should directly pull a title match. What happens that if he is not the first one to pull the title match, but be a challenger for the next event? What would he lose?
He won't lose much of that. And given that he hasn't pulled in the weight category yet, I think it's fair enough. So you're going to have to play it by ear, and because depending on what happens in a few weeks' time, you're going to have an idea of where to go. But yeah, one of those gentlemen is going to end up being the title holder. One of those 4, for sure.
Yeah. And then he will continue. He will continue. There will be more title matches. Yeah. Why not? Yeah, it will be good. Just to. I mean, I want to determine, the best guys, and then like title matches.
Keep it rolling. Yeah.
And then we will take. He will put the belt there before the match, and then the winner, if he loses, the other guy will put it on, and then
that's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, we need that. We need that. Yeah. Anyway, so let's
Yeah.
go about the Iraqi versus Hutchings.
Yeah. I think that
Before
match is going to.
just let satisfy my curiosity, who is winning?
Todd Hutchins will win.
Okay, and now tell
Yeah.
us the details. Yeah.
I know that Iraqi is growing right now. It's visibly obvious that he's getting stronger. So I have to consider that when I think about his level. His last match against Daniel Mosier, he looked comfortable, no worries at all. But he didn't dominate Daniel Mosier in a way that made me think that Hutchins won't be able to get to the strap for him. I think Hutchins will get to the strap.
Yeah.
If it's in the strap, I really can't see Todd losing. So for me,
how do you see the match? Do you see the match like he's hooking and beating Iraqi, or he's flat wrist and then side pressure? He's losing.
I think it'll be similar to his match against Chance. It'll be flat, maybe lose his wrist a bit, jam up, defend a bit, and then he'll get his cut back again. Yeah, I think that if Todd's in straps, Todd wins. I think Iraqi has to pin Todd outside of straps, like Haji did. How long ago was it? 8 months ago. Yeah. That's the formula for beating Todd. If he's going to do it, that's how he's got to do it. But if Todd gets the straps, because remember Todd, even outside of the straps against Zurab, was still right there in the match. He just made a couple of tactical errors, but he had genuine stops out of the strap.
Yeah.
So I think that Todd's power is there to win the match. I'd be surprised if Iraqi does it, and I'd be surprised if Todd makes the same errors that he did against Zurab. And I think Todd will win it.
Iraqi doesn't have the same dominant hand that Haji has outside of the strap. That hand control. Iraqi's wrist is good, but it's mostly supported with his back pressure. He's dependent on strap, that way.
And Todd's fingers are amazing.
Who is this?
Todd's fingers are amazing.
I think that match is gonna go strap because, as I said, that Iraqi doesn't have the same dominant hand control outside of the strap as Zurab has. And if it was in strap, then I give Iraqi better chance, because then Zurab is sometimes losing the wrist, while Iraqi with even flat wrist he can still arm wrestle and press. So what I'm just saying, after Todd lost against Haji, I think he improved his pronator to go to strap. And I tell you what, 99% I'm sure the match will go to strap, unless Todd wants to pull without the strap. If Todd pronates, they will go strap. You will see.
Yep. So once they're in the straps, do you agree with me, or you going the other way?
Listen, like I see. Okay, I will tell you. I can't listen. I cannot really know what kind of strategy they are coming there. If there are any changes they made, what's going on in their mind, and I don't know their shape. I don't know this, but I can tell you the possibilities that I don't see Todd is hooking Iraqi. I don't see that, at least in a fresh match. I don't see we put one strap ready to go. I don't see this. I don't see any. If he goes like this, he's gonna win. But it depends. If Todd just jumps forward, and then if he loses his wrist, so I will say this way: there is more possibility for Todd to not to lose his wrist. He cannot curl, but keep it flat. He is doing a forward move like this, jump forward. Then when he is protecting his own pronator, then when he tries to protect his pronator, there will be more pressure to his hand because he's not coming forward. So there is possibility if Todd wants to protect his pronator, most likely he will lose his wrist. But
Mm.
because of protecting his own pronator, he will be able to put his side pressure.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
goes forward. If he goes forward, then he may be protecting his wrist, but giving pronator, he will give chance to Iraqi to control his pronator. If Iraqi gets here and here at the same time, then Iraqi may pin him. So there is, but if Todd wants to protect his pronator, I don't think that Iraqi will be able to do this to him. He may, but like totally dominating weight. So that is something that Todd needs to try. That way or this. I don't know which one he's gonna try first. And the other thing is that someone like Arsene Liliev, or Rustam, the match, you may end up while you're moving, you may end up here. While Iraqi is a type of guy that likes to position first. He likes to position first and then go. So that positioning is giving, in my opinion, chance for
his time.
To position himself as well, who is very fast. So it's given. But just because we are saying this, listen, nobody is Superman. If Iraqi gets his own point position, he may pin him too. But can he do that 3 times? All this, these are, I can tell you all the possibilities, but we will see what's happening. Because whenever I talk with Prudnik, I said, Prudnik, what do you think about Iraqi? Prudnik said, Iraqi is as strong as me. But I'm just better arm master. Is this what he said? So I said, you believe that he is as strong as you? He said, yes, he is as strong as me. So that guy, Iraqi, is a very strong guy. And if he can control Todd's wrist and pronator at the same time, as I said, nobody is Superman. He can pin him.
Yeah.
I don't. Did you see that practice after the East versus West?
Yeah, with Iraqi and Prudnik.
The one round he top rolled. Once he top rolled, normally Prudnik is this way strong guy too, but once he top rolled him, he just beats. And did you see when Jordan Sonev tried to hook Iraqi? When Iraqi didn't even top roll him, he just hang him here and then curl his pronator, and he went through over his pronator that way. So what I'm just saying that anyone who is
strong.
Iraqi is mistaken. That guy is very strong. Todd is not going to dominate Iraqi. The only way Todd will win is to exhaust him with the endurance. But he may lose as well. Rounds, I don't know. We will see. That is, when we see that, all this, that is what it is, why it is so exciting for us, because all those possibilities making.
I love it too. I get told I'm crazy for doing it. I'm the same. I like to dream up all the shapes that could possibly happen and imagine the possible victory paths for each opponent. So yeah, I agree. That's the best thing about the sport. And this match does have good shape. I feel like ultimately, if Todd doesn't make an error, if they both play their strongest hand, I feel like Todd has the edge. If Todd makes a slight error, I think Iraqi can capitalize and take control. So I lean towards Todd because of that.
Yeah. The only other thing is that, like, whenever, I don't know, like, whenever I see Todd going Canada and pulling those matches, Todd was pulling in his own way against, those guys that even tried. So he had the pressure. Yeah, but what I'm just saying, whenever I see Iraqi, 2 times I saw him, if I'm not mistaken, training videos, table training, and I saw both of them against Revas. So Revas is a pure top roller. And then Iraqi is training with him. And then when you train with Revas, you're having the pressure here. But whenever he's going to pull Todd, he's going to have the pressure here, all the time here. Maybe this way, maybe this way, but all the time he will have side pressure. Nothing is trading the same. Todd is not going to top roll Iraqi unless Iraqi at the later rounds,
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
exhausted, and then Hadi's doing that type of fantasy, But
Yeah.
so what I'm just saying that like when table training for me is the most important. Of course, these Georgians, same as Kazakhs, Bulgarians, these they have a call. They are like very very good. So you
Mm.
can't really teach them. Oh, you're doing wrong, and this is not my place. But what I don't understand, this is what I try to express, that table time is the most important because you can train with the weights as much as you want, but
Mm.
you need to have pressure here, pressure here. That is the table time. And then whenever he does the table time, he's training with a top roller while he's going to face the strongest pound for pound side pressure guy in the world.
Mm.
So it just is he going to have stamina for that side pressure?
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
would you train with top roller if you had a super match with Hutchings? Would you
No.
have top? No, right?
No, you wouldn't. No.
No. So but as I said, I'm not criticizing. I'm only saying because I don't understand.
Observing. You're observing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's like I said. At the end of the day, it's the most interesting matchup for me, because it's a very integral piece to determining who the number one in the world is at that weight. So,
Did we miss any match?
I think we missed one. Let me have a look. I feel like there was one more. Derek Smith and Morozov. Is that happening?
Yes, the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, big Derek.
The last member of the East versus West in the last minute. He was coming as a commentator. And I was gonna set him with Georgi Zerano from Kazakhstan, and it didn't happen. The agreement, we couldn't agree. And then, Derek was coming anyways, and I said, "Would you pull?" Because of Ongarbayev got injured, and he cannot pull. So, what do you think about this match?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous, because it's Derek's first outing. It's over to European arm wrestling, and I know.
Although it's WAF championships, but you mean this professionally super match type?
Yeah, under the spotlights, it's his first dance, and that'll bring nerves for him. I know that he has big aspirations. Obviously, he was very dominant against Tim Bresnan, which was impressive. But Tim, another fellow American on American soil, no pressure, felt calm. Derek was somewhat of an underdog in a lot of people's eyes, so he had no pressure at all. Now Derek has the weight of expectation on his shoulders. People have ranked him as high as 12 in the world, which would make him the favorite against Morozov if that is true. But the travel and the pressure and the experience, I think it is a tough match for Derek. It is a very tough match for Derek. I admire him for taking it. I wish him well. I think he has the tools to do it. He's a giant human, 6'8" and massive. So he's got all the tools, but I feel like Morozov very strong, and just that home ground sort of, or home region experience and comfort will be a factor. And I think this could be a very good match. A very good match.
That's interesting that almost, not all, but almost all the Western athletes on the polls favorites against
There you
this.
go.
Like except Prudnik.
Except for Matt Mask.
Yeah, matches. Yeah, Mask. They think that Morozov and that, and then also Pauline Samushia, like
Close. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Other than that, But it is like from North America, a lot of pullers, and all of them except probably Derek or maybe Paul as well, like legendary, figures,
Yeah.
last 25 years, 30 years, I mean, Mask is also minimum, 15 years?
Yeah, I think maybe even 20, maybe even 20.
Yeah. So what I just say that this team will be together there.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, that's true. They'll have each other's support.
Imagine a team that's coming from US. Imagine here, Matt Mask, John Burzing, Michael Todd, Marcia Barber, Hutchings, Derek Smith, like Pauline, Like,
Yeah, that's the crew, isn't it? That's the crew right there.
yeah,
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 wow. Okay, so they'll have each other's back, so he'll have the support, so he
yeah.
won't feel too alone. Look, I'm really excited about Derek as a prospect. I think that he has. I mean, he's just blessed with the genetic frame that he's realistically someone that could go all the way. He's someone that has, you have to say, has the physical potential to turn into a Levan, and maybe even more if Derek puts in the time and the consistent work, he could turn into the next Levan. So I'm excited for Derek, a good buddy of his, and I think that I actually know I've spoken to Derek about this. He's nervous about the match because of the expectation and the moment. Hopefully he gets control of it and he does well. But look, win, lose or draw, Derek's a great arm wrestler who's on the rise. So I am very much looking forward to this match. I wish him well.
Yeah. I mean, if you have dreams, the best way to make them like come true is to wake up and do what's
Yeah.
necessary. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Get in the arena.
opportunity, he will be there up there with all those legends, and then he needs to prove himself. You can't just go to bed and just or go to gym and lift weight and I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be like that. Someday I will be. No, now time to prove. Just go to stage. Yeah,
Yeah.
be brave
I
enough,
agree.
and then do your best, and then like fulfill, your dreams. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know it. I know it. So the biggest part of it is the performance. No matter how good you are, if you can't perform good, then it's gonna be wasted. I know many guys in the gym training or practice training, they're doing great. Whenever they go up the
But they
stage, they
can't
are
perform on the
pressure.
tournament. Yeah.
They're not performing. So that is most of the best athletes. If you realize, not most, but probably all uh, people who are strong mentally.
Yeah.
Those are, yes, smart
Mm.
people, strong personality. Sometimes even a little bit psycho. You need to be
Yeah.
a
Yep. Yep.
little bit paranoid. I'm describing myself.
Yeah. I feel. I know it all too well. I've been told I mean, you've heard it that I'm delusional, but because I keep on chasing the dream. So I understand. I you gotta chase those losses until you can't find them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you are not going to get anywhere without trying, for sure. Like
Mm.
as I always say that, not everyone who believes, can be successful, but every successful ones are the ones that, believed at the beginning. Like
Mm.
just because you
Yeah.
believe, you can't be successful. But if you look at the successful ones, that are the ones that who believe, for sure,
Yeah.
you can.
And yeah, I saw you write that the other day about everyone who has made it to that success at some point in time they were considered delusional by other people.
Mhm.
They were never always the world champ for sure. There was a long journey.
Yeah, trust me, the worst case, you will for sure improve. Like
Mm.
you may make your dream to go on the top of the mountain, but trust me, like even you don't reach that mountain top of it, you will reach much higher than where you are right now because your eye is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you don't, your eyes there, you are not
It
going.
doesn't give up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you don't
yeah.
get better. Anyway, so
I love
thank you
it.
very much. Yeah, and it was nice. And then hope to see you
Yeah,
next
three
time.
months time. 3
Yeah,
months time. It's gonna go so fast, thing, and it's gonna go so
yeah,
fast.
yeah.
Can't wait.
I started training. I'm like training with weights. After I come back from Norway, my trainings are like lats, fingers, biceps, pronation, hammer, wrist. I have one foot training for pronation, different type of pronation, and the shoulder training and the chest training. Since I come back, I didn't do any hammer and pronation, but I did 3 times bicep and 3 times chest and then 2 times shoulder or something. It's because I do table time. I did probably 3 or 4 times table time. Whenever I do table time, like the muscle groups that I'm training with the hammer, pronation, and wrist are well trained at the table. So when I do often table time, I kind of don't feel so much necessary for training them in the gym. But the bicep, lat, and this chest and everything. So when I really need to start all kind of trainings. So anyway, so any plans? Any plans? Like you and Bogdan Stoica, I think, right?
Yeah, Bogdan Suika for me is in September.
Oh,
Arm Wars.
already hyping the match for September.
Yeah, yeah. Because he beat my good buddy Jordan Davis really bad, and then he beat Dallas Langston, who I've also beaten as well.
How
But
about that match, Dallas?
3-2, he won 3-2.
Oh, it
Bogdan.
was 5 rounds. Huh?
Yeah.
Usually wars are 6 rounds, but this time it's 5 rounds. Huh?
Actually, sorry, no, 4-2. It was 4-2.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a good match. Bogdan, I don't know if you've ever gripped up with Bogdan, but he's very well rounded. Looks solid. Great offensive puller.
I think
Where I'm more. Sorry.
100 kilo puller.
Yeah. I think I'll be meeting him around the 90, 92, 93 kilo mark, because you and I will pull at 90 kilos, and then a month later I'll pull Bogdan at 92, 93 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see how it will be. It's good that you are finally reaching your international super matches.
The opportunities are finally here. Yes, it's been too long. Like I said, I'm excited about my opportunities because I just don't know what my level's at anymore. It's been so long. I know where it was 2.5 years ago, roughly. And now it's been so long since I've touched an international hand that I genuinely am like, I don't know, wait and see.
Yeah, it's good that you need to start from somewhere, because of COVID, probably a lot of opportunities were gone, right? You were planning so many things, you were gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway, so thank you very much, and then hope to chat with you again before our match. Hopefully, maybe after the East versus West 3, we can also chat, and then you can
Would love to
share your thoughts about the results and how it should go from now on. You can share with us.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Engin.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye bye.